What's up viewers, Eric from Bsonic. Today I'm here at ACC USA with Shin, and we're going to be installing the navigation DVD motion and also the front camera interface on this 2017 LC500. And as you guys know, the navigation DVD motion allows everything that's blocked out while the vehicle is in motion, so you'll be able to access all that, such as watching DVD and putting in your address input. And at the same time, the front camera is just the front camera we're going to be adding to this vehicle. It utilizes the factory screen. So let's not waste any time and get started. Okay, the first step is to remove the door sill over here. Just could use a panel removal tool like this. Right out, already loosened it, and just pull it out. And then next, you're going to remove this piece up here. This is also being held by clips. Okay. And the next piece that's gonna come off is this one over here. Okay, the next step is look down here. There's gonna be 2 Phillips screws that you're going to loosen. Okay, and after you remove those Phillips screws, you should be able to pull this bottom panel out. Okay, there's a few clips down there you have to loosen and just unplug this LED plug. 2 10mm screws, go ahead and remove them. Place your hands around here and just pull up, and this piece should come off. Just like that. Unplug the connectors under it. Okay, next step is to remove the shift knob. It's very easy, just turn it counterclockwise. Okay, the next step is to remove this piece over here. Just like that. Disconnect the connectors. Okay, next step, we need to remove this piece over here in the back. Okay, and next step, we're gonna remove this top piece over here. Just pull it. And the next step, we're going to remove these 10mm bolts here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Be very careful not to drop these bolts inside, because it will be very difficult to get them. Another Phillips screw up here. Okay, once all that's out, just be very careful at the end when you're pulling it out. These brackets here have sharp edges, so just make sure you don't scratch the interior. Okay, the next step is we want to remove this piece over here. There's 2 Phillips screws and also 2 10mm bolts. So let's loosen those right now. There's also 1 bolt inside here. What is this? Oh, it grabs it. That is so cool. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's ready to come off. Okay, there it is. All right. Okay, the next step is to remove this. Just simply pull it up and then release the clips. Okay, the next step is to remove 10mm bolts. There's 2 on the side over here, and then there's 1 more down here. It's all the way in the bottom. Okay, you also need to remove this hood latch over here. It's just being held by these clips. So after you have this out, this whole dash is now ready to come out. All right. Okay, there's going to be some clips holding the wire harness together. Just carefully remove those. Okay, the next step is to remove this climate control. Just put your hand over here, and just pull it towards you. Just like that. Take the necessary connectors off. All right, finally, we had to take all that stuff out just to get to our stereo device, and we're going to remove that right now. Place a really big blanket right here. This is where we're going to be working on the harness for this navigation DVD motion controller. Just pull it out as much as you can. Okay, so just so we have more room, I'm going to disconnect these just for better visibility. Okay, we'll first work on this one over here, this side. So simply just pull it out. And then we're going to break that connector in half. If you look very, very carefully, there's a little slit where you could fit a small flathead screwdriver in it, and that will dislodge the connector into two. And just like that. Okay, just be very gentle with it because you do not want to break this. And then taking one half of it, you are going to connect this with our connector. You're going to sandwich it together and it'll snap right in place. That's a dummy connector. And then on the other side, you will sandwich it with our other module side. Just like that. Just plug in the one that's connected to our module back into the vehicle, and the other side will connect to this side. Okay, so the other connector that we need to work, the one in the middle here, is the 30 pin. And pull that out. And then once again, we are going to separate this. And once it's separated, you are going to take the thinner one right here. You're going to insert this green terminal into the second pin from the end when you face your connector this way. And then when you're inserting this terminal, make sure you have it the right way. Okay, which is basically you want to be able to see the copper wire area. And then line it up this way and then go straight in. Because if you look at the other wires, you can also see the copper wire. Okay, that's the easiest way to figure it out, and just insert it all the way inside. And you'll hear it click like that. And once that is in, you will connect this back with the original connector, make it into one, and then insert it back into the radio. Like that. Okay, once we have all the connection connected behind the radio, let me put all those connectors back. And the next connector we want to connect is the one next to your auxiliary and your cigarette lighter. We're gonna go look for that afterwards. Okay, and then this box over here, we are going to use the supplied 3M double-sided tape and secure it behind the radio. We'll secure on the bottom, right there. Okay, so the next step is to get to our auxiliary USB connector, which is like right here. So we're gonna remove some panels on the side to get to it. Okay. The connector we need to get to is like right here. I could feel it, but I don't have enough room to unplug and plug our harness in. So for that reason, we're gonna have to remove all that. Okay, there's two 10mm bolts down there. Seems like all this needs to come out. It's already very loose. We also removed this piece, which is holding in the back. And then once you remove this, you'll find that there's two 10mm bolts back here. Alright, so once we have those removed, now we have access to connectors that we need. There is this main white connector right here. This is what we needed. So going back to our module, we have this, which is going to connect to this, like that. And then the other side is going to connect into there. So before we do that, let me organize the wire so that I want to route it in a certain way. Okay, while you're routing the wire, just make sure it is not near any moving parts. You do not want the wire to get tangled up in any moving parts. Like the worst thing that could happen. So we found that there's some wires that's going through this route here. So we're gonna follow this main big fat harness. It's going to the side. Okay, we're going to zip tie the wires to this main wire channel. Okay, we have completed our install of our navigation and DVD motion controller on this LC500. We're gonna continue and install our front camera, which requires to get behind this radio. But just for this video purposes, we're only gonna show you how to install navigation DVD motion. So the next step is to reverse order what we just did, put everything back, and you are good to go. Alright, we just finished installing our DVD navigation in motion and also our front camera system. I want to just do a really quick demonstration on how everything works. So the video in motion, it's always active, and also the navigation in motion is always active as well. In order to have the navigation in motion be always active, you do have to change the setting in the setup mode. I'll go ahead and go through that a little bit later, but let me just show you how it works. So as you can see here, we're driving and the video continues to play. In normal cases, once you start to drive, the video will stop. And say that I want to enter a destination. Normal case, I do need to pull over the vehicle in order to do so. But because I have the DVD and navigation and motion installed, I don't have to. Okay, so all this is possible, and we could go back to watching our DVD just like that, and then just expand it. And while we're watching our DVD, we can listen to our turn-by-turn direction in the background. And on top of that, we have a new button that we hit down here very nicely. This is for the front camera, and anytime you're driving, you press that button and then the screen will turn over to the front camera. So this is the front camera view. You press it one more time, it'll show the backup camera even though the car is driving. You press it one more time, third time, it'll take you back to the car's menu item. So let me show you, let me do a quick parking scenario for you. Say that I want to park in this parking space right here. So yeah, I'm parking, I'm going in, I press the front camera, there it is. I'm going, and I know where to stop right there. And then if you look outside, it'll show that my parking is perfect and not hitting the curb. So say that I went another foot or so, I would have hit that curb, but I was able to stop before because I have this front camera right here mounted very nicely with a custom bracket made by ACC USA, the installer for this front camera. Another thing that's a little bit different, if you see this is a factory backup camera, it has these guidelines. If you have the backup camera come out using our module, you won't have any of those grid lines, because those lines that you see when you put your car on reverse, it's actually ran by the CAN bus. The CAN bus is not getting a signal that the car is into reverse. That's why those lines are not showing. And right now, this front camera and rear camera has a timer to it, which is default at 15 seconds, I believe. If you want to change the timer, you can do so in the setup mode. But we figured all you need is 15 seconds because most likely you're going to be using it while you're parking. So here's the front camera once again. Here's the rear camera. And then back to the normal screen. And normal screen playing the DVD. Although we are drive-in.